Hey, this is Anthony with RevZilla TV, where you can watch, decide, and ride. Welcome to our detailed breakdown of the new REV'IT Sand 2, available at RevZilla.com. So the Sand 2 is the next game changer from REV'IT. The original Sand came out a few years ago. It was the best-selling four-season adventure jacket that wasn't Gore-Tex. The Sand 2 still keeps that moniker as being as high as you can go from a functionality, durability, performance standpoint in multi-season riding before you get into that Defender realm, which is going to be that Gore-Tex level of protection. So looking at the Sand, you can see it's completely redesigned for 2013. 5 colors that also include a Hi-Viz version. You're going to pay 10 bucks more for the Hi-Viz, but you're still sub that $500 price point. And again, remember, you're getting full season, waterproof, breathable, with a removable thermal lining. This jacket is really set up to do it all. We saw the Marley brothers rock Sand 2s all throughout Africa in the last year. It's been a nice touch as part of the story here for launch, here with the latest and greatest in the dual sport realm from Sand, from REV'IT. And remember, subscribe to us at RevZilla TV on YouTube. Stay up to date with the latest gear reviews we're constantly rolling out. Now, before we get into all of the features, the nuances, and really what I'm going to start with is all the ways that the Sand 2 is different, let's talk briefly about fit. Fit, no surprises. It's that newer REV'IT cut. It's more American in style. Ed to my left is 6 foot. He's 210. He's also about a 44-inch chest. He's wearing a size large. And notice the amount of adjustability. You have arm cinches. You have bicep cinches. You also have dual waist cinches around the outside. So again, we have it ratcheted down, so it's going to be more of a svelte cut here on Ed, but no surprises from that side. And keep in mind as well, over 39 bucks, we ship for free, exchange for free, no restock fee if you need to send it back to us, so no surprises. So from there, let's go into all of the ways besides just the style, which does look cool. And remember, they're coming out with there's a KTM RevZilla orange in this version as well. Let's dive into some of the nuance here that's changed. Big changes here. The first one you're going to notice right off the bat, dramatically longer vent here on the arm. So remember, it's a 4-season coat. Inside the jacket, you have your removable Hydrotex. You also have your removable thermal liner. Now in the summertime, you have the zipper, and there's a 2-way zipper. It goes up and down. You can pull it all the way down as well. But now you have a dramatic amount of ventilation that's direct ventilation with the liners out direct to your body that goes all the way up the sleeve. This is huge. These vents really work. You feel this immensely as that airflow, especially in an upright or 3/4 position. You're going to feel that airflow immensely go up your arm and circulate with your chest. Also, I want to point out, notice the way that we have our forearm cinching. This is by design. You have a lot of people that might say, oh, well, why wouldn't the tab be on that side? Now your zipper has to go around it. The beauty of that is the forward thinking of REV'IT. What they've done here is they've put that tab on this side to ensure the integrity of the sleeve if you were ever to go down. If we would have attached, if you'd have that tab on this side of the zipper, what you'd have is when it was in the open position, all of that pull, all of that stretch in a crash situation would be, all that stress would be put on the zipper. And zippers are always a weak point. So keep that in mind. So it comes all the way across. It's designed correctly to not take away from the protective feature of the jacket, but ensure that you can get that long distance ventilation all the way up the sleeve. And notice they're even doing zipper garages, again, to just finish it off. And you can see where they've tacked this extra stitching to keep it together. Now, you also have another key feature when it comes to ventilation here on the Sand 2. You still have your long chest zips that are going to come down exposing 3D mesh. And the 3D mesh has a little bit of a thickness to it. It sits off your body. That space promotes better airflow. But the coolest part about it is now they're using a new system called the wind catcher. The wind catcher is this tab, and I have my left side done. And what I have is 3 snaps under the arm, if I can find one. And what the wind catcher does is it pulls the side of the material over. So if you can see, this is if I undo the wind catcher on this side, this seam can completely sit flat. That zipper can stay closed. But once I open it up, I can really open it. It's going to be an elasticated pull that keeps that 3D mesh exposed and promotes dramatically better airflow through the garment. So again, they are saying up to 200% more airflow in the jacket, but what that really means to you is that if you wore the Sand 1 and you're wearing the Sand 2 in the middle of the summer, or you're working really hard on your bike, you're going to really feel the airflow coming through the jacket. Some other key features. They've added hand warmer pockets now that are new, and we have a new style cargo pocket, which has a dramatically bigger or greater deal of volume there, so you'll get better storage on the front. I'll tell you the truth, for me personally, off the bike, the hand warmer pockets are a really nice touch. They're doing that with a lot of their newer jackets. We also saw it on the Outback, which would be the baby brother of the Sand 2, which I'm considering Adventure Light. Also, you're going to notice that we have a hydration loop up top. Now, if you go ahead and flip around to the back for me there, Buzzsaw, If we look at the back, you now have a pocket at the top that will take a hydration system. And again, your loop's going to come out, it'll thread through there, so now you have the further ability to keep yourself hydrated while you're dual sporting. Other key feature, besides the fact that our REV'IT pouch now has that volume equation, they've done that new style volume pouch that you could easily put all the liners in that pouch, no problem. They're deceptively large. We still have our vents along the back. But what we've done here in the back protection, what you can't see, is that now REV'IT is optimizing for their new style CE Level 2 armor. It's called Seesoft RV. So if you want to update the back pad, it's not the Nox anymore. It's now a CE Level 2 version. And what you're going to want to do is, based on the size that you're choosing, you want to look at the size chart, and depending on the size of the jacket, you'd buy the particular size of Seesoft. So the Seesoft RV will fit perfectly. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about upgrading the back protector. Other nuances here that are new features on the Sand 2. And again, I'm going to get into all of the staple features that you expect, but really let's talk about these red loops. You see one in the back? Come around to the front for me there, Ed. You're going to see them on the front. These are connection points for either a Leatt or a MOVEO neck brace. So there are a lot of riders out there that are going to really stretch the limits of a jacket like this in the off-road world, and you might want to use a neck brace system. You'd have to get through your neck brace, the harness kit that allows you to connect that Leatt or MOVEO there. The Leatt ST will work as well. But now you have connection points that are smartly designed, integrated with the jacket, that actually stay connected. You can take the jacket and neck brace off at the same time without having to remove one before the other. There's also the connector Hi-Viz, the connector HV. These two loops on the front work with the connector HV vest, which is a supplemental Hi-Viz vest that allows you to quickly and easily integrate a vest that, again, stays with the jacket when you take it off and put it on. So for you mil-spec guys, for you guys that are commuting to work, that want a little bit more visibility, you now have that option as well. So again, I've just walked through, I think, 5 minutes of new features on, besides the fact that you're offering new colorways and a new design, make the Sand 2 a nice large jump without dramatically increasing the cost into the next generation for REV'IT. Now, if we take a big step back, let's talk about protection and seasonality. Let's really talk about the nuance, the nitty-gritty, the foundational elements that we see from REV'IT that we've seen work really well over time. You're talking about YKK zippers, the best that are available, spring-loaded snaps that aren't going to wear out over time, 3M Scotchlite for reflectivity, with a pre-shape that's going to work in an upright 3/4 or 3/4 riding position, especially if you're standing on the pegs. If you take a quick shot down, we have Ed here wearing the REV'IT Sand 2 pants. Remember, that's a separate video. Watch that. I'll break those down as well. And we've talked about some of the adjustability. Let's talk about protection really quickly. First thing, it's a nice upgrade over your base level REV'IT gear, something like the Outback, which would be a nice foray into that technical four-season realm. You're now seeing ProLife armor. ProLife armor in the shoulders, ProLife armor in the elbows. CE rated, but it's more comfortable, it's more all-encompassing. Also in the denier of the shells, you're looking at a mixture of 500 and 600 DEER in main construction areas and 1200 D in your impact areas. This is a power shell wax, 1200. It actually has a cool little design on it, but again, you have the ability to add additional protection in an area that's very accident prone. Also, if I bring your elbow up like this, you're going to see underneath, this is an area of stretch. Without putting an elasticated panel, they've added a stretch piece of power shell here that's going to give you better mobility in the arms. Now, Ed, let's begin to undo it here. And I'm going to break this down on the table in a second, but let's show you the top. So notice our orange interior. It's a fleece lining. It's an upgraded fleece lining over the normal fleece lining that we see. 5-position, set it and forget it collar. And as we start to open up, you're going to see the nuance of the jacket. Here's my Hydrotex liner with my rain gutter. This is my true waterproofing, although the outer shell will have a DWR that will allow water to bead and roll off of it. And as we get to the interior, we're going to break it down as well. You're also going to notice that we have our thermal liner. And notice 3 fleece liners, Trico liner, upgraded fleece liner. These are never going to chafe your neck. Again, thinking about somebody that might be living in this jacket over an extended 1, 2, 3 week ride, it's the creature comforts. It's the pieces that aren't going to chafe you. It's the pieces that aren't going to wear out. It's the zippers that are going to work when they're dirty. It's the spring-loaded snaps that aren't going to wear out at you or start to stretch out. These are the things that when you're really putting a jacket like this through its paces that are hold up over time, that are going to allow you to remember why you've invested close to $500 in a jacket that's meant to last you multiple seasons through pretty weathered styles of riding. So now that we have the Sand 2 on the table, let's walk through a couple of the nuances that are a little bit harder to see when they're on a body. I mean, obviously, when you get into some of the zips and some of the integration with the bike features, you're going to have flaps that aren't going to scratch your bike. Again, it's continuing the thought process that REV'IT does really well to make sure that they think through these products for longer, harder core use. One of the things I do want to note, Here's the Connect HV vest from REV'IT. It's about 50 bucks, and that's what these loops are for on the front. So you can buy this separately. It is EN 471 compliant, Hi-Viz yellow, and you have the ability to just loop it right on so you don't have to buy a fully Hi-Viz vest. That's a nice touch. This is an add-on. Also, one of the things I negated to talk about when we had it on Buzzsaw is there's an additional level of snapitude here on this flap on the front, on your wingate, on your gaiter here that would go behind the main connection zipper. And what that allows you to do is in warmer weather times of the year, you can actually flap it back and button it down. So now you're getting this extra storm cuff and you're getting it out of the way so that when you're fully zipped up, you can get better airflow to your neck and chest and your main body. So that's, again, a nice feature here. Now moving into the guts, let's open it up. We talked about the 3-layer system. Here's our thermal on the interior, right? Thermal with pockets, fleece lined at the collar. Then we have our Hydrotex 3L, which is going to be our waterproof, breathable layer that's completely removable. And then outside of that, you'd have your main mesh construction, which would go against your t-shirt or your lightweight base layer in the warmest times of the year. Let's remove all these and show you what the jacket looks like when it's broken down. So I've already done the left side, as you can see. I'll do the right side for you. So starting up here at the collar, and I'll start with my thermal. My collar comes off with 2 snaps, or a single snap that I've already done. Going into my sleeve. Snaps for the thermal, single snaps, and then it's a plastic style snap. There's actually a few of them here on my pre-production sample. I'm gonna pop these bad boys off. There should only be 2 in the production version. Pull that out, and now I'm gonna have the ability to pull out my thermal vest, which comes with a short connection zipper. It should pull right out. Here's my thermal vest liner. Notice that it's not styled to be worn standalone, but it's meant to be beefy. It's Thermalite for cold weather times during the year. And then here's my waterproof, breathable Hydrotex lining. And notice that I have 2 Vislon zippers, long 360 and a 7-inch shorty connection if you want to connect liner to liner with your Sand 2 pants. Now again, I've already done the left side. Move her to the right. Should be a short connection zipper. That's a long zipper. Should be a shorter zipper in the production version. And then as I pull it out, notice that I have a tab here up at the collar as well. And this bad boy should come right out unless I missed a snap. And it looks like in all of my preparation, I have missed a snap or 2. Should come right out. Should come out as well. Here's my Hydrotex lining. Again, not meant to be worn as a standalone, meant to be waterproof, breathable, stow easily in the rabbit pouch on my Sand 2. Now here's my Sand 2 with the Temper Foam back pad that it comes with. And let's walk into some of the other add-ons. So I've talked about the Seesoft RV. Here's the new style CE Level 2 back protector from REV'IT. This is one of the sizes. Remember, it's sized according to the jacket size, so you need to use the chart. Notice that it's multi-layer, it's perforated, it's multiple constructions of plies here, and it's going to be temperature stable, I think up to 140 degrees Fahrenheit and down to sub-freezing, so it's not going to get really tough and brittle on you. It'll still retain its protective properties. And the other thing I want to talk about as we close out the Sand 2 here is the Hypercool system. This is your Hypercool Challenger vest. And if you've watched our Hypercool vest guide video or Hypercool guide video, this is an evaporative cooling vest that you dunk in water and it retains water, but it's also waterproof in the areas that touch your body, so it doesn't make you wet. But as direct vented air comes through the jacket with the liners out, and this actually zips right into where your thermal liner would zip in, you're actually getting the evaporative cooling effect for 6 to 10 hours. So this is a nice step forward for the hottest times of the year on a beefy adventure style coat that are going to allow you to stay as cool as possible. And remember, watch our full Hypercool detailed breakdown where we kind of talk about how that works and the guide for kind of choosing the right configuration. They do a standalone vest. They also do wrists as well as a collar for it. So keep in mind, if you're concerned about size, remember, we ship for free, exchange for free, no restocks if you need to send it back to us. Shoot our Gear Geeks line at cs@RevZilla.com if you have any questions. And as always, on any order over $100, you can earn TeamZilla cash to be applied to your next order, our way of saving you some money in the long run. Find the REV'IT Sand 2 jacket at RevZilla.com/REV'IT. I'm Anthony. We'll see you next time.